Welcome back, First Hour Faithfuls, to yet another episode of the First Hour. My name is Colin Tanner from VideoGamesAreDumb.com, and I'm here to check out the first hour of a recently released video game with you, the legions of First Hour Faithfuls. And it has been a while since we have done an episode of the First Hour. I think about a year and a half, spring of 2016. Now, in the meantime, I've been putting out plenty of videos, mostly video reviews and video essays about brand new games. But when it comes to Sonic Forces, I thought about it, and I don't know what I can really say about the Sonic franchise that hasn't already been said. It's in a rough spot. It hasn't been good for some time, and Sonic Forces does not, solve any of those problems. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. What about Sonic Mania? Well, we'll talk about Sonic Mania later on, but for the time being, let's start off with Sonic Forces. Let me explain to you what Sonic Forces exactly is. I've already beat the game. It's only like 3.5 hours long, 4 hours long if you do everything, just about. We're gonna go with hard difficulty, and I'll explain what the storyline here is. Now, you might assume, based on the fact that this has the pudgy Sonic and the new Sonic, or it's not even a new Sonic at this point, it's like an 18-year-old Sonic, but the pudgy Sonic and the more recent Sonic, that this is a sequel to Sonic Generations. But you would be wrong. It is a follow-up to Sonic Generations, but it's also a follow-up to Sonic the Lost Worlds, which of course was a Wii U exclusive. If you're wondering where has Sonic been for the past 5.5 years, well, he's been a Nintendo exclusive on the 3DS and the Wii U. Clearly, those games did not sell very well. You can go and look that up for yourself. And so there's a reason why they decided to bring Sonic back to being multi-platform, just like he was back in 2002 with Sonic Heroes. Or was that 2001? That was 2002. Yeah, I got that right. And like all Sonic games, we are starting off in Green Hill Zone, because of course we are. You got to. You don't have to, but Sega has to. Alright, we got the boost mode. Basically this is your standard Sonic Heroes, Sonic Adventure style gameplay. Just homing dash style Sonic. Whoop.
Man, look at the size of that thing.
Now here's the problem with this game. We've just started off, I already want to tell you what the problem is. Did you see that worm in the background where he's like, look at the size of that thing? Please do look at the size of that thing. Good on you for mentioning that, Sonic. There is no follow-up to that. You do not fight that worm. You do not deal with it in any way whatsoever. That worm is gone for the rest of the game. There are so many things that happen in this game that have no follow-through, including what you're about to see right here.
Green Hill's looking a lot more like Sand Hill right now.
That's right, Green Hill Zone has been destroyed. It is now, been turned into a desert. One of the most iconic environments ever in a video game destroyed. Why? Don't know. There is no follow-through. Now, I'm not going to completely just bitch and moan about every little detail in this game. But seriously, that is bizarre. Now, I will be the first to admit, I am sick of Green Hill Zone. I'm absolutely sick of it. They don't need to put it in every single Sonic game. But at the same time, kind of a waste. You know, just to do that in the background. That could have been a very pivotal moment for the Sonic franchise where Sonic sees the place blown up and it's like a desert. But no, nah, they didn't bother with that. Just a desert. He's just running right through it. And you'll notice that stage was pretty short, right? It was 1 minute and 22 seconds. That's actually about the average length of a level in Sonic Forces. They range between 1 to 3 minutes, generally, unless you fail, which you won't. The game is really easy and really short. I know I said I wasn't going to complain too much, but we will be addressing something that's about to come up right here.
Is everyone okay?
Look at those background characters.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I roll. Okay, let's finish this, Eggman.
It will be your finish, Sonic.
It will be your finish.
The power of my ultimate masterpiece.
All right, here we go. Shadow.
It's you?
Mm-hmm.
Zavok.
Zavok. Metal. Sonic.
Chaos.
And Chaos. I want to pause right here for just a moment. Look at what we have here. We have Chaos, Metal Sonic, Shadow, and Zavok. And this is my issue right now, is right away, this apparently is for hardcore fans. You cannot be a casual Sonic fan and enjoy this, because right here we are looking at 25 years of Sonic history. Starting off with the Metal Sonic, very first appearance was in Sonic CD, but I guess that was 1993, so 24 years. Then next up we have Chaos, who of course appeared in Sonic Adventure back in 1998 in Japan. That's the Japanese release date. Then we have, Shadow, who of course was the frenemy of Sonic that appeared the very first time in Sonic Adventure 2. That was back in 2000? 2000? Was it the year 2000? I believe it was the year 2000. And finally, Zavok, who is the villain from Sonic the Lost Worlds, which I'm going to assume most of you did not play before. This is just, like, what is this? Like, what I'm trying to get to is that if you haven't played a Sonic game in a very, very long time, this must be kind of confusing, because these characters don't even look like they belong in the same universe, especially Zavok. They did not update his look one bit, right? I know it seems like a really petty deal right here, but this is my issue with the Sonic franchise. In terms of characters, in terms of events, in terms of storylines, the Sonic franchise is a lore hoarder. If anything appears or happened in another Sonic game, it is just thrown into the next Sonic game. It is just piled on for no reason. These characters do not matter. These are just references. They do not have any sort of personality. They do not play any sort of role. They're just here so you go, oh, whoa, look at all these Sonic villains. It's just like Dragon Ball Z. Remember that episode of Dragon Ball Z where Goku goes to Health, the home for infinite losers? Because that's what they called in the American one. And he's like, he meets Pecan and he wants to fight him. And then he bumps into Cell and Frieza and like the Ginyu Force, all those people all together. And then he just like bats them away like it's nothing. That's basically what this is right here. Just like, I remember these villains. It's just a reference. So if you haven't played a Sonic game in a while, you're already like, what the hell's going on? And if you have, you're not really rewarded for it. You just recognize them. There's no real moment that you're like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Maybe it's just me. And then of course you have the brand new villain, who's incredibly lame. His name is Infinite.
Whoa, this guy is faster than Sonic. Wait, it's something else.
It's kind of funny to see Sonic get hurt though, you know? This should be like a pretty big deal, shouldn't it? Shouldn't it?
What's going on with this guy?
I'm trying, Sonic, but these readings are all messed up. They don't make any sense.
Running out of time here, Tails.
It's... All right, so that we have all the villains uniting. How are they gonna capitalize on this? How are they gonna follow that up? This is a pretty big deal. How would you follow it up? I know. How about a black background and white text? That's right. That's how we're gonna tell you the story about how Eggman took over. He took over within months. We are flash forwarding months. And instead of showing anyone this, it's just a black background and white text. If it sounds like I'm being too nitpicky, I am. I'll admit it. But come on, they're the ones that are telling me the story is important. Speaking of characters that are just here for no reason, remember Knuckles KX on 32X? Remember Sonic 06 with Silver the Hedgehog? Remember Amy from that racing game on Game Gear, I think?
But I'm also a realist. Sonic is gone, Amy, and Tails has just lost it.
So Tails went insane, and Sonic is dead. That's where we're at right now.
We've been hoping for a miracle these past 6 months.
For the colorful animal game.
We have to make our own miracle.
Eggman's army has everyone terrified. If we want the people to rally, we have to show them that strength doesn't just come from numbers.
Not everyone is terrified. Isn't a new recruit joining us today?
Yes, a survivor from the city, right?
This is...
I'm accessing the file now.
Alright, so after... Oh god. So about 20 years, nearly 20 years of just piling on new Sonic characters, Sega is finally thrown in the towel. They're saying, never mind, forget it. You want another Sonic character? You make it! You make that character! I guess they finally discovered DeviantArt. They just looked at it and went, fuck, nope, we're not making that. So instead now in this game, you are tasked with making your own character, which, you know what, I'll give them credit. That's actually a pretty cool idea. If you're a long-term Sonic fan and you like to draw your own Sonic characters, I'm not judging. I'm not gonna be a jerk about this. Sonic fans already get enough crap. you know, good on ya. That's cool that you get to make your own character. If you're a kid, I'm sure that's also kind of awesome. You're gonna have your character working alongside Sonic the Hedgehog. Pretty badass, right? Just saying. But let's start off here. We have male or female. And a lot of people, you know, in case you don't know, the difference between these two sexes is that one stands up straight, no eyebrows. The other kind of leans back, has eyebrows. That's the main difference, you know. I'm sure you've seen nature documentaries. That way you can just tell the sex of an animal right away. Just bam. Also, look at the pelvis bone on the female one. Just creeps me out. Makes it look like the skin is plastic. Oh shit, I get it. Oh my god. Okay, I didn't realize this, and like I said, I've played this before. She's wearing something. Dude is naked. Look at that. Dude is just naked, right? But we gotta cover her up. Why? That's insane. Well, whatever. I like to play as the male character because it just looks so awful. So you've got different species in this game. You got the dog, wolf, rabbit, bear, cat, bird, hedgehog. Hedgehog, dropped rings are going to hang around a little bit longer. Bird, you can double jump. Cat, you can hang on to some rings after taking damage. Bear, there's a thing called a wire attack. He has a more powerful version of that. We'll get to that in just a minute. Rabbit, an extended period of invincibility after being hit. Wolf will have items that just sort of are like magnetized. Whatever. You shut up. And dogs, they get to start off with some rings after they die, so it's like an easy mode. I like to pick Bird because Bird just looks awful. And here we go. This basically, the eyes are the window to the soul in the Sonic franchise, and so basically you've got your stock eyes that you always see in Sonic characters, though you cannot do the conjoined eyes like Sonic has, you know, where Sonic doesn't have the separation of the eyes. You can't do that in this. So you can have the stock character, you can have the nervous character, you can have the sarcastic character, you can have the mean character. No. No, thank you. No, no, no. No. No, no, sir. You can have that kind of a happy character, kind of like an anime character. These are my two personal favorites. You have the wall-eyed character, and then you just got the character that's just, he's just seen it, man. He's just seen it all, man. He's seen what's going on. The world is an illusion. He just looks troubled. So that's the one I like to use, and because, of course, this is Video Games Are Dumb, we're going to be choosing Hot Pink. Always Hot Pink, if Hot Pink is available. Now... these characters, clearly, this character is going to clash with the backgrounds. And I will give Sonic Team credit. They do not hold back. If you want to make a character that is just ugly, they let you just make that ugly character. So good on them. You know, oh, the voices. I like to have the gruff voice. Oh, and the victory pose. You can choose your own victory poses whenever you beat a stage. There's one of them that's really weird, where he just, like, touches his nose and then puts his hand out. I want to show you. Yeah, this one. What the fuck is that about? Like, I get they're doing a Bruce Lee. You know, kind of like Sonic did in that previous cutscene, where, you know, you kind of, like, you touch the nose. Or Spike Spiegel, if you're a fan of that. But, like, what is that? I need a tissue. Like, what is that? That one's weird, too. You got the theater one. Straight up fucking breakdancing one. Yeah, I gotta go with breakdancing. Looks great. It does not look great. We can both admit that, but that is my choice. I think it looks great that I don't look great.
That's it, Rep Commander.
Happy to see you're all still alive. Eggman's forces shoot through our
What a
defenses
dark
and
statement. Happy to see you're all still alive.
City is reporting that whatever it is that finished Sonic. Sorry, I'm still not used to saying that.
So they think Sonic is dead.
What it is has got them running in fear. All except for this brave kid who survived the battle and made it here in one piece. Meet our newest recruit.
Doesn't look like much.
Neither do you, Charmy, but I still need to find use for your pointy butt. Here, kid, take this. We're depending on you.
I love that.
Okay, let's
You
get
look dead
going,
behind the
everybody.
eyes. Here's a
The world's not
firearm.
gonna save itself.
You random stranger we just encountered. Clearly, you need something that can cause widespread chaos. Awesome. Good on ya. Throughout the game, you basically take over a percentage of the world, slowly but surely. And you can actually go above 100%. It seems like if you haven't played the game yet, which I assume you haven't, it seems like it takes forever to beat the game because it slowly ticks down progress. But there's just like the final hour of the game, it goes from 15% to just 100+%. It's crazy because you can go over 100% because there's hidden stuff. Yeah.
I've just received some incredible news. Sonic is alive.
And this is what I'm talking about. They don't commit to anything. Remember that sandworm? Oh, that thing's huge. Never see him again. Sonic's dead. Then 5 minutes later, Sonic's alive. Why? Stick with it. Come on, buddy. You're gonna create this premise. You might as well follow it for just a second. These characters think Sonic has been dead for months. We don't get to experience their pathos. Right away, that is dashed away like a Sonic the Hedgehog. Whatever. Shut up.
No way! That's excellent!
What? Oh, thank goodness! I knew it! I knew it!
He's captured in the orbiting prison. My spy there says he's in a solitary confinement cell, and they've been torturing him for months.
They've been torturing Sonic for months. They have been torturing Sonic for months. He is in a confinement cell, and they have been torturing Sonic 4 months. Rated E10 plus. Why? Why do that? But this is going to be another thing we have to keep talking about. This game tries to be dark, and it's just weird. Like, oh, we all thought Sonic was dead, but we're all hanging out anyway. And look how happy she is. She's like, all right, big deal. He's been tortured for months. Tortured? That's horrifying.
That's horrible!
Oh, okay, never mind. I guess she does. She's on my team. All right, I take that back.
Plan's already happening, Amy. I've got a squad on the way to the spaceport in the chemical plant to borrow a shuttle.
But do we need torture in the Sonic game?
guys.
Yeah!
Jailbreak.
Look at him. Just look at him. All right, so this is going to be the very first stage where I play as my avatar, and you'll see that it's basically just Sonic again, but he has a gun. So Shadow, the Hedgehog, I guess in a way.
SBO here. My team's engaging the
SBO.
tunnel.
Jesus.
I think we can hold them off for now.
So,
Wait, watch out. The masked one is here. The monster that took down Sonic. Stay focused, Rookie. We're out to find a shuttle.
so you can take a couple different routes. Either you can bounce on things, or you can swing from things. You can just dash into enemies, or you can fire your gun. And there's multiple different types of guns. Some of them are actually like whips. It's hard to explain, but you'll see it as we go on. And I actually kind of like the music in this game. I'll be honest with you. It's happy hardcore, like straight out of the 90s, and I don't know. I like lots of different types of music, so I think it's kind of cool. I think it's good that they stay true to the Sonic franchise in that aspect, because the music in Sonic has always been very good. That's one thing I will not deny. Phew. So we just had a 3D stage, we just had some rail grinding, we just have this kind of like 2D type stage right here. Red coins, they are always scattered throughout stages, so you get a little bit of replayability.
It's carrying supplies. I don't think it's armed or anything.
There we go. Whoop. There's these QuickTime events, but they feel half done. Like you would think that some of this has a QuickTime event, like right here. Is this a QuickTime event? No. Alright, so he's gonna swing around. Whoa, close call. Is that a QuickTime event? No. But this right here, this is a QuickTime event. It's just weird, right? It's not just me. I don't know. Maybe it is just me. Maybe I'm the crazy one. Maybe I'm the crazy one. I don't know. Like I said, this game is really easy. It's just hold right, hold R2, and you can pretty much kill anything. Even that right there I didn't do on my own. The game just did it by itself.
The launch pad for now. Grab a shuttle before they sound the alert.
Burst! Burst! It just rings up here. There's a special ability that allows you to kind of like connect to rings and ride them around. So there is a little bit of replayability in some aspects. We'll probably see that before this is through.
They won't mind if we borrow this for a while. As soon as everyone's aboard, step on it.
Sweet. So that's 2.5 minutes right there. Like I said, stages, not very long. Which I think is actually, not a bad idea. Stupid. I don't think that's a bad idea. S rank, baby. You don't want these stages to overstay their welcome, you know. There's 30 stages all in all. There's 5 secret ones, and there's also these like bonus stages, but I don't know how many of those there are. I played through almost the entire game. I say almost because I'm not sure if there's anything hidden I haven't seen yet. Let's go through this right here. So, your avatar, obviously mine is horrifying. They don't just leave it at that. They're not stupid. They actually have extra costumes that you can put on, so I can look like, you know, the knights from Nights into Dreams, or I can look like one of the AI from Super Monkey Ball. Think about how old these franchises are. That's kind of depressing that they have so few new franchises that connect to an audience that they have to rely on Jet Set Radio. I guess Persona 5. That's something. We'll use the Persona 5 hat. Persona 5 Joker mask. Which isn't really Sega. I mean, they own them, but you can also wear this, so you can look like you're from Persona 5. You want to be one of the Phantom Thieves. Which is fine by me. Let's go into Ghost Town. Which is, okay, yep. We gotta talk about this.
Should have done it. I couldn't figure it out for you, buddy.
Okay, wait.
Sorry, I wasn't smart enough. Huh? Whoa, Chaos!
Chaos is one of the biggest Sonic villains of all time. In case you don't know, Sonic Chaos appeared in Sonic Adventure in 1998 in Japan. That's when it was released on the Sega Dreamcast. It was the very first 3D Sonic game, so they needed a really special villain, and Chaos is extremely powerful. So powerful, in fact, that the final sequence in Adventure is a city the size of Tokyo, completely destroyed, engulfed in water, as this giant being, that Chaos right there, he gets bigger, and he's destroying the city. Destroying it! Go look it up, it is insane. And now here he is. Here he is. Now, before we continue, I just want you to stop for a moment and think from, imagine you're a person that has not played Sonic Generations, alright? And now imagine you are a long-term fan that knows who Chaos is. Either way, this should kind of piss you off. Here we go. Here comes Chaos.
Help me!
Destroyer of cities. Holder of the Chaos Emeralds. What? Oh, he's dead. And now we have another Sonic.
Sonic? You're alive! Wait, what? Oh, you're that Sonic from another dimension, aren't you?
At least they have the music from Sonic Mania. I'll give them credit there.
I think. Do you know how you got here? Maybe the power that Eggman is using is somehow affecting other dimensions. Which might work to our advantage. I mean, everything happens for a reason, right?
No,
We need to
false.
save the world. And
The portal
maybe
opened
that's
up for
why
no
we're here,
reason.
To help save the world.
It was complete.
Either way, it's still good to see you, Sonic. Heck, it's good to see any Sonic.
It's just such a weird scene because you're destroying one of your greatest villains. Yeah, I mean, you know, face it, one of the greatest villains is Chaos for no reason, and actually make it more confusing that Sonic shows up. Now let's. Okay, in case you're watching this and you're like, what the hell is going on? Why is there a fat Sonic? What is that about? Okay. So, the Sonic that we've been playing as is the Sonic from the Dreamcast and going forward. He's from Sonic Adventure, he's in Sonic Heroes, he's in pretty much every game that's released. This Sonic, on the other hand, is from Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic & Knuckles, and the most recent being Sonic Mania, which was released back in August. You're still with me so far. So there are 2 Sonics, in fact. You can almost look at this like an Earth 1, Earth 2 scenario from the DC Comics, or, I don't know, what do they call it in Marvel? They don't have Elseworlds in multiple dimensions, do they? No, they don't. But the jury's still out on who is the Sonic in Sonic 3D Blast. Many assume it is this original Sonic. And they already met back in Sonic Generations. So that's what's going on. And so now we have classic 2D Sonic gameplay right here. Why? Because this game has to be something for everybody. And that is one of the major problems. What? What got me? How'd he hurt me? Whatever. Bullshit.
Careful, Sonic.
And I don't want to repeat myself too much here, but this is what I mean about Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania is a game that I, to be perfectly honest, did not really like. Sonic Mania has great graphics. I love the sprite artwork. Sonic Mania has fantastic music, wonderful music, a lot of imagination in the worlds. Wow, S-Rank all over again. What can I say? Incredibly easy game. I'm playing on hard, remember that. But I did not enjoy playing Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania is fun to watch. It's not really fun to play because Sonic Mania is very much rooted in classic Sonic gameplay, which, say what you will about the original Sonic games, they were not very well designed. And what I mean designed is that every video game is an Thanks for the black background and white text. I do want to talk about this for just one moment. We'll have Sonic Mania footage going over this, so it doesn't really matter to begin with. Sonic Mania is a game that is very much rooted in the classic Sonic games, and the problem with the game design is that every video game is an educational video game. Every video game is teaching you the rules of itself, and then you have to adhere to those rules to succeed, and eventually you'll be tested, and you need to react. You need to overcome those circumstances, and you know, that's how video games work. You know, you are tested. You were introduced to new concepts, and then you have to execute those concepts. When it comes to Sonic Mania and the classic Sonic games, they just kind of throw stuff at you. Like, why were there spikes here? They killed me. Why were those spikes right there? That is bullshit. Well, too bad. They're just there. There's no way to indicate or to inform the player on what's going to be taking place. It's all just randomized, and that's not fair. It's not very fun. It's just luck. It almost feels like gambling in a way whenever you're just going down, barreling down an avenue. And that's the thing. They funnel you down many different directions. Like, once you pick a particular way you're going to go through a stage, because it's kind of labyrinthy and there's multiple routes, once you pick a very specific route, you just have to stick with it. That's just how it goes. And so it feels bullshit when you die. It feels like bullshit. At least, though, and I know I just talked a lot of shit about Sonic Mania. That's how I feel, though. But at least from an artistic experiment, I can respect Sonic Mania because it knows what it wants to be. It knows exactly what it wants to be. It's saying, we're going to just remake classic Sonic exactly as it was. We're not even going to improve it. We're going to keep it exactly as it was. We're going to stick to that source material. I think from a gameplay standpoint, that's a mistake, but from an artistic expression, from an experimental standpoint, very, very cool. This game, on the other hand, Sonic Forces, doesn't know what it wants to be. It just doesn't. Is it going to be classic 2D Sonic? Sometimes. Is it going to be Sonic Adventure, Sonic Heroes, 3D Sonic? Sometimes. Is it going to be like a 2.5D Sonic game? Sometimes. It tries to be something for everyone, and that's why you have all of these villains and all of these characters and all of this stuff. It doesn't have an identity of its own. It's just everything colliding together, and on top of that, the story tries way too hard to be dark. Way too hard to be dark. Just look at this. This scene in particular is upsetting. Really upsetting. It's all about your avatar's backstory. So we've got some cartoony characters shooting little guns, and they are murdered. They're dead. They're dead. They're gone. And now here's your character.
Taste your terror, child. All that anxiety and doubt. It's delicious. Give in to your fear. Flee screaming, and I'll let you live.
Just the lamest dialogue. Flee in terror. Your fear is delicious. Just the lamest dialogue possible.
Can you hear me?
What are we doing in this? This is, remember Sonic? Remember Sonic the Hedgehog? He bounces around and he frees the bunny rabbits and he fights the robots and collects the rings. You remember that? Do you remember when this one character had all of his friends murdered in front of his eyes and he couldn't pull the trigger on a gun because he was choking on fear? Why? Why? I'm not against the idea of Sonic going dark or whatever. Obviously, that's what the popular Saturday morning cartoon series was. It was a darker look at Sonic, especially the way that they treated his uncle. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it doesn't matter. But it was a pretty cool cartoon series back in the 90s. But what are we doing here? That's the thing that... that's my constant issue is we see fat little Sonic running around, have some fun. Wow, me and Tails are gonna hang out. And then you just see people getting wiped out and you hear about, well, you'll see.
Rouge, it's about time. How's Sonic doing?
I mean, Sonic's being tortured.
He's been better. They're getting ready to banish him into space.
They're gonna launch him in outer space. Like, what is the point of this?
What? You can't be serious.
Eggman's been keeping Sonic alive all this time. He's been waiting to show him his completed empire before banishing him.
Torturing Sonic just to pass the time. Oh, that's low, even for Eggman.
So do you see what I mean when I say something for everybody? Like a little too much?
Eggman got wind of our rescue plan and is moving forward with his plan ahead of schedule. The clock is ticking, boss. But we don't even know where he's being held captive. Yes, we do. Eggman rebuilt the Death Egg. That's where he's keeping Sonic.
The Death Egg? Oh man, that's not good.
Ridiculous.
None of this is good, Vector. That's why it's called war.
Really touching stuff there, Knuckles. That's why they call it war. A+ right there. Wow. It's poetry, my friend.
You all know what to do. Let's go get Sonic.
Great. And now we're in outer space. We're just going in outer space. That's the next mission. But really think about this. It's a stupid little colorful animal game, and then they're just like, people are getting tortured and banished into space. What are you talking about? It's something for everyone, and that is a problem. That is the major problem. They have no direction. So even though I didn't like Sonic Mania, that game absolutely knows what it wants to be, you know?
Like you took the best route. It's up to you to save Sonic now. Find him.
Like I said though, I like the music. Even though I know the music is not great, I like it. I think it's fine. Whee! Get another red coin. Whoop. Whoa. Whee.
The prisoners are being held in a kind of internal...
Obviously, if you have better performance, if you know where to jump and all that kind of stuff, you have more opportunities to skip ahead, which is kind of cool. So they kind of reward you for playing better. But you still get an S rank no matter what, or at least like an A rank. It's hard to get a B. I tried to get a B at one point in this game, and it took me like 9 minutes. Whee! Alright, I'll just burn right through these guys.
Was used up until recently. It appears that many of our brethren were held here.
Brethren. So, just trying so hard. Many of our brethren. Like, why do we, you know, whatever. You got the 2D stages, you got the 3D stages, it's just too much. You gotta pick something. Pick one or the other.
They're on high alert now.
I sense Sonic's
Whoop.
presence. He's close.
And I feel like these sections right here are I know they've been in other Sonic games, but they're probably best remembered as being kind of part of the iPad games of Sonic, which are probably the most successful Sonic games of the past 20 years. I bet you I get an S. Oop, maybe I'm not. Nope. Ah, are you kidding? I'm gonna get an S. Just look at that creep. It's a new record. I should really check the leaderboards and see where I am. I bet I'm number 1 in the world. Maybe. I don't know. I got a new version of the weapon. You get bonus costumes for doing well, if you're into that. Where does this take us? Does this take us right into a cutscene? Alright, so I know that the next stage is going to be a Sonic stage, but I'm still going to be updating my character. So, there are different types of weapons. This is the exact same one I had as before, except rings increase speed and applies a protective shield. So there's like slight bonuses, but there are totally different ones. There's one that I like to use that has an electric whip. I'm going to give this guy a football helmet. Oh, we have to be one or the other? Alright, football helmet. Oh, really? I can't... Alright. Football helmet. Purple gloves. No, yellow gloves. Gonna give him pointy boots. Oh, I didn't want to give him bodysuit. You can just make him all green. This is creepy. I'm gonna give spiderweb. There we go. That's fun. Yeah, I'll give him credit. That is fun. I want to complete my daily mission. Okay, yeah, I get it. I get... I guess I should show this. There are daily missions that you can take part in. Yeah. Oh, God. So they show you the rewards that you get. Change your gloves. I already did that, so I'm going to get bonus XP in a while. Change your footwear. Change your body parts. Change your body parts? That does not come off right. That is terrifying. Saw off your legs. Alright.
This is the end, Sonic.
Oh, hey, sounds like the party started. Want to let me go and join in? No? Of course not.
There's Zavok. Who could forget Zavok?
Wow. The end, huh? Let's see you try something now that I'm free.
Foolish hedgehog. Getting out of your chains does not make you free. Now, come and face the inevitable.
To be fair, Zavok has been reading a lot of Ayn Rand.
My foot kicking your butt.
I can't believe they didn't update Zavok at all. He just looks exactly the same, just totally clashes with the backgrounds. And he's got his flying machine.
I can't wait to see how long you last against this.
Come out and fight me yourself and I'll mop you up real quick.
Impudent runt. I'm going to save
Blah, 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 blah. I already know exactly how this boss fight goes. It's really, really, really simple. Boop. I just think it's weird that Sonic Team is still making these games. It was crazy, oh, I screwed up. I was looking it up, and the producer of this game, I forget his name, Sonic fans will know it. He's just been with the company forever, and it just shows that there is no standard of quality for these games. That people that have cranked out very poorly received sequel after very poorly received sequel are sticking with it. They are never... They don't give oh, I was gonna say that they don't give the franchise to another team, but that's not true. Because I believe, what was it, Big Red Button? Or whatever the hell they were called. They were a team out of America, and they developed Sonic Boom. And I guess we should talk about that right now. Sonic Boom, of course, was a game that was released in 2014, and as well as a Cartoon Network series, which is possibly ending after 2 seasons. I don't really know. There are about 50 episodes out there, though. Or I guess there's like 100 episodes, but they're all like 11 minutes long. And it feels like there was a moment there where Sega was like, we need to get away from all of this Sonic lore. It is too confusing. We need a fresh start. And so they chose to give the franchise a reboot to an American team. And as someone who played Sonic Boom, I can tell you, that game was not good. That was not a good idea. That did not work out, like even in the slightest. I guess some kids like the cartoon series. Good on them. For my money, come on. I honestly think that's what Sonic should do from now on. I don't think there need to be Sonic games anymore. Look at this. He has that little bit of health left. He just takes them out for me. I don't have to do anything.
No! How could I lose to the likes of you again?
I think Sonic stopped being a video game character a long time ago. He is a character that is for lunch pails and backpacks and children's sneakers and animated series. And there's nothing against that. I'm not against that. I'm not making fun of it, but not a video game character. Video game characters make good video games. He is, at this point, Sonic is a licensed game. That is how I look at it. No different than, you know, Transformers video game. You wouldn't call the Transformers games, you know, video game characters. So, like, Sonic, I think it's just snake bit. If an entirely different team could not salvage the franchise, who can? And Big Red Button, they were talking a lot of smack because they're like, we have people that used to work on Final Fantasy. And like, what?
That's Snow again. Whoa, it's not time for thinking. It's time for running.
Wow. Not time for thinking. It's time for running, everybody. This is one of the better looking stages in the game. It's not good. None of this is good. It's not challenging. It's just... It's all really, really, really flat stuff. I'm not gonna say this couldn't have been a good game. I'm just saying that it's unlikely that Sega will ever spend money on actually producing a good Sonic game. Sonic Mania, like I said, I don't think it's a good game, but the only reason that that was allowed to exist is because it could exist on a budget. And you know that's true. You know. Sega does not care. Because Japan is really where... Like, Sega's in two different fields right now. When it comes to consoles, they are a Japanese company. In America, they are a PC company. Basically, they make PC games. And that's about it.
I don't do well in tight spaces. I'll put back Eggman for putting me in this jam later.
So the idea that they have console games for Americans, first and foremost, no, they're not going to spend the money.
Had me locked up on the death egg. This big ball of scrap just won't stay destroyed. I'll be out of here in no time, though. Just wait and see, Eggman.
Also, how is Sonic breathing? I mean, I shouldn't really be nitpicking the logic of the Hedgehog flying around in space fighting robots on a total ripoff of the Death Star. But I will. Yep.
So, what's my move? It's not like I can swim out into space.
Yep.
You know, I'll just grab a shuttle.
Hold on, I want to get this right. Oh!
Somewhere. I could do with a little space cruise on my way home.
You know what's the worst, though? When you hear somebody talk about how to fix Sonic, that's the thing I can't stand. They're like, oh, you see, what they gotta do is they gotta take him back to its roots. No, you can't fix it. Sonic was a product of the 90s, and should have stayed in the 90s. Doesn't belong anywhere else. It's never felt right since.
Here goes nothing.
Like, revamping the character at this point would be so much work. And he is not a timeless character. It is very clear he does not belong here in this time period. Whee! Even that stage right there, 2 minutes and 27 seconds. If I sound like I'm coming off as being too negative, look, there are things that I enjoy about this game. I like the music. That's about it. But it's just one of those things where, why does this exist? Why do they even announce this? And you might say, oh, it's because they sell really well. Well, you know, after, I don't know how well Sonic Mania sold in the grand scheme of things. I assume that it turned a pretty good profit, considering that it was a low-cost game. Because it was an independent title, really, with Christian Whitehead and all that. But Sonic Lost World and Sonic Boom didn't make much money. They did not sell that well. Look at my character! What a wimp.
Easy there. Everything's cool. Are you here to rescue me?
He could break in, but
Can't tell you how much I appreciate
totally
it.
wimps
It's been
out.
a while since I've seen a friendly face.
Hey, rookie, you still in one piece?
Oh, sure. Don't even bother to ask how I am.
Sonic!
Amy?
I'm so glad.
Hold up, Amy.
Is there an exit around here? Your concern is touching, Knuckles.
Knuckles! It's just weird that your character's main attribute is a grappling hook. Strange. Well, okay.
Sonic, finding you alive is the best news we've had in months. And here's the bad news. Our intel indicates Eggman's got a weapons factory in Green Hill, pumping out munitions for his war effort.
Hey, like I said before, none of this matters. None of this pays off.
Factory? We can't take out Eggman's home base in Metropolis if he's got a factory supplying him.
No kidding. Look, Sonic, I know you just got back, but we're spread thin. Can you take care of this? We need that factory in Green Hill destroyed. Take the rookie with you.
You sure about this? Shaking like a leaf the whole time we were at the Death Egg.
That's because it's cold in space. The factory is nice and warm.
It will be when it's burnt to the ground. Sonic, you take the lead. Rookie, just make sure you take good notes.
Pure
I got
insanity.
6 months of payback I'm just dying to spend. This sounds like a good start.
So they thought Sonic was dead for 6 months. That's what you got right there in the canon. I'm gonna take a break right here. And I'm gonna have a sip of my coffee. I got coffee right here. I just need a little sip for my throat. Ah. It's good coffee. Do you drink coffee? I hope you do. Coffee's good for you. Has antioxidants and a little bit of caffeine to get you through your day. What kind of coffee do you drink? Do you prefer an oaky flavor? Or perhaps you enjoy one that's artificially flavored like hazelnut. Those are good too. Perhaps you enjoy the coconut flavored. That's a specialty of Hawaii. It's pretty alright if you ask me. You know, there's different kinds of coffee out there. There's light roast, medium roast, and dark roast. And some people will tell you that light roast is their preferred type of coffee because it's a little easier on the stomach and there's not as much caffeine. But that's actually a misconception. You see, light roast actually has the most acid, and the most caffeine, while medium roast is referred to as a breakfast blend in most areas of the United States. And finally, there's dark roast. People consider that a dessert kind of coffee. So, perhaps it's 6:30 and you're having an evening out and you just need a little pick-me-up. Ask the waiter for a dark roast. You'll be glad you did. Good old coffee. I prefer mine iced. Nothing added. Oh yeah, so now we're gonna go to the stage with Sonic in Green Hill Zone, Green Hill Pyramid. I don't even remember this stage. There's only 30 stages. Did I already mention that? I don't know. Too busy thinking about coffee.
Enemy's factory is inside the pyramid. I can send reinforcements if you don't think you can handle it.
Whoa!
We'll blitz the place and open up a path for the resistance.
So there's this is basically the teamwork stages where Sonic and your character work together.
To team up. It doesn't matter what obstacles they put in our
Up.
way. We'll blow past
You do stuff like this, the double boost, which is basically you just beat the stage. It's like it's really easy.
Yeah, that's how it's done. We've got unstoppable speed and time.
Like I'm not even touching the controller. There's nothing I need to do.
Bingo, found a way in.
You should be able to get into the factory through there. Stay alert.
This should be fun.
Oh, I missed the red coin. This is just such a weird. This whole game is weird.
So they're building weapons here, huh? Making everyone work like robots.
Whoa! My bad. That does not happen often.
Weapons here, huh? Making everyone work like robots. It'll be Eggman's turn to get
Most of the time the game is very much on the rails. Can I still use my flamethrower? Yeah, I can. Alright. See ya. Ooh, red coin. Red coin. Got it. Didn't it look like I could run on that gear?
So they're building weapons here, huh? Making everyone
Like, all the stages are so short, though, it's hard to get mad
turn to get pushed around when I get a hold
about
of him.
any sort of, loss. And I guarantee you, I'm still gonna get an A ranking. At the very least, there'll be an A ranking. Oh, almost fell for that again. They got more red coins? No? Oh, I gotta jump down here? Let me guess. Oh. I was about to say, do not give me a game over on that. How was I gonna know that was gonna happen? It's kind of creepy how Sonic and his new friend move in unison, isn't it? I think it is. Maybe that's just me. There's a difference between teaching the player your core design and just being repetitive. I seem to be standing in a lot of circles and just having robots drop down from the ceiling. What the fuck happened? Did you see that? Wait. Did I do something wrong? Or I guess as Sonic would put it, did I do that? It was voiced by Urkel. That's bizarre. Weird. Really weird. Doesn't actually seem like I did anything wrong there.
That was a cakewalk.
I don't know why I was even worried.
Huh. I remember when I beat this the first time, I didn't die at all, and I thought that that dialogue was actually related to my performance, but I guess it wasn't. Oh, still getting an A on this hard mode. That's probably because I got my pointy boots and my football helmet. And I should really say, this is my biggest issue with this game. It's not that it's bad. It's not that it's good. It's that it's nothing. It's so short and
Something is attacking inside the mystic jungle. Silver is fighting him, or it, or
whatever.
just hurry.
Guys, it's him!
I'm looking forward to a second round with this guy.
This guy. Like, this game just doesn't really try anything. It just, I mean, it literally is just trying to be something for everyone. Just retreading ground over and over and over again. Doesn't really take any sort of creative risk. I guess you could say the avatar system, but really, is that anything when it controls exactly like Sonic, except with the flamethrower? Speaking of which, let's change the look of the avatar. This is the one that I like. It's a 65-degree day. Nothing you can say about it. Hell yeah. Yeah. No shoes for me anymore. Well, where's the rest of the footwear? Alright, I guess I'll go with that. What did I just remove? Oh, fuck, what did I just remove? I just lost something. Covered in paint. I thought I lost something, but I guess I did. Oh, I lost the body. I'll give him a vest. No pants, though. I like the paint. I know what's supposed to happen. I'm supposed to add this to the football helmet. No! No, we're not doing that. Let's get back into it. I think I remember what this is.
Eggman's forces are scattering bombs like confetti.
We can't go on like this.
The whole place is going up in flames.
I don't know what the incentive is not to just hold down square. I don't know what that incentive is. What? What just happened? I suppose maybe so you can search for the red coins, but... Oh! We got floors now in these levels. That's new. Did you know there's such thing as mushroom coffee? It's true. Apparently it's good. But I'm scared to try it. Take that punk, take that punk! Dude, I actually remember the first time I ever saw Sonic the Hedgehog running on Genesis. Blew my mind. I was at Comp USA. It was mind-blowing. Because it just looked so good. Looked like an arcade game. Sounded like an arcade game. Yeah, whatever. Just some random soldier character. Ooh. What the f- I was just holding forward and... If they were smart, it would be the blue thing. But instead it's just a snake.
Doesn't look like we'll get past without a fight. You're so gonna regret that. Hedgehogs don't make good snacks.
I'm really good at video games. Did you murder that snake, Sonic? It's a little aggressive even for you, man. Come on, you gotta give me the S rank. Come on, it's gotta be an S rank. Come on, give me the S rank. It's crazy, I can die twice. Or was it just once? Still get an S rank. Hell yeah. I don't know if I already mentioned this, but I think this is, I think the reason some critics are being a little kinder to this game. If you review games, it is, it's really common that you will sit and have to play a game all day. And I mean, all day. I'm talking from when you wake up to when you go to bed. Maybe 18 hours a day. If it's like if it's crunch, you gotta like complete a game. This is a 3.5 hour long game. It's not difficult. And it's really not that good. It's an easy review. Easiest review you could write. If you just want to write a review, writing a video essay or something like I was gonna do, it's a little more complicated. But I think that's why this game is kind of getting a pass by some people. Not naming names, but I think it's just kind of like, oh, thank God, I don't really have to. It's like a day off. Like, all right, get it done 3.5 hours, so you can finish everything you're doing in an afternoon.
It keeps the rabble in line, shows them that there is no hope.
Just the
Anyone
worst.
but you believe your lies?
Does anyone but you believe your lies? Doesn't that just sound like an 8-year-old on Twitter? Whenever they get mad at you. You get a lot of 8-year-olds getting mad at you on Twitter? I don't know, maybe it's just me. I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of angry 8-year-olds because of this Sonic video.
Well, look who's back from
Ew, Sonic is shiny everywhere, even his eyes.
But what's that I smell? You reek of fear. Glad to see I left an impression.
That's not fear. I ran all the way over here. And you haven't left an impression. I don't know anything about you, not even your name.
You may call me Infinite in the brief moments that remain to you.
Oh, great. See, Infinite? Now we're getting to know each other. So, what's your favorite color? Do you like long, romantic walks on the beach? What's the source of your power? You can skip the first 2 questions if you like.
The source of my power is none of your concern.
Sorry, but you've just got to share the secret of your power with me. I insist.
You're insisting.
Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa!
Sonic, you okay?
Just the fucking worst writing. Just the worst writing. just the worst. Like, Infinite is the lamest character. Like, honestly, if there was an award for lamest video game character of the year, right away it's Infinite. Like, you can't even get mad at him. It's just so pathetic, you know?
Come on, I'll show you my spines.
Just the worst. Ooh, I like your fear. Ooh, I like your fear. Ooh, your fear. I like the smell of your fear. You smell like fear. I taste your fear. Like, god damn. That was an easy day at the office. And, what should Infinite say here? I don't know. Something about fear. Whoa. I know this game is easy because it's supposed to be for children, but man, hey kids, I hope you've been brushing up on your 25-year-old lore of Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh yeah, this part.
You might have more fighting than the other rabble. Let's see how many seconds you last.
Payback time at last.
Just the worst. You are the worst, Sonic! So is Infinite. Infinite... I guess if they're... What? What even just happened?
Impossible. Your abilities exceed your previous data.
Ugh!
Like mechs, I can grow. I get more powerful every second.
I will teach you to hold that tongue next time we meet. You can count on it.
Just the worst. The worst. S rank? Of course again S rank. Come on, sure. Sure I'm gonna get an S rank. At least I get a new gun. So as the game goes on... we'll see that in a minute.
Well, you've improved since the last time, but you will still lose. As I predicted, you're not even worth the effort to finish off.
Why? Why?
I gotta figure out the secret.
He's not
of his
afraid of you.
power.
I thought the only reason he kept people alive is because you want to feed their fear. You're just like, oh, I'm not gonna kill him. Why? Why aren't you gonna kill him? Why would you not kill him? Why would you not kill Sonic the Hedgehog? He was just like, oh, whoa, you're more powerful than the previous data. He was freaked out by that. So when you want to kill him? Or does he like fighting? He's never given any indication that he likes fighting. What the fuck? Whatever. Let's design the character again. I want to show you this thing. As the game goes on, things get, well, I gotta have the gamer hat. Things just get a little bit more kinky as the game goes on. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Just having these mouth guards. Aw, dang, we didn't unlock any. There's some particularly kinky stuff later as the game goes on. No, these aren't it. There we go. Wear that goddamn sailor suit. Look like goddamn Donald Duck. Yeah. I like the sailor suit too much. And this one right here, turns enemy into a cube. Basically that turns them into a platform. But we're not even going to be using that because we're going to be using Fat Sonic in the next stage. Oop. There we go.
Failed Sonic. Well, I mean this world Sonic. And Eggman's monster got him. But you're here now. It's like the world needs a Sonic. Any Sonic to keep things in balance.
That is the farthest thing from the truth, Tails. Let me tell you from first-hand experience.
If we defeat Eggman, this war will be over. And if we can figure out the secret to his power, maybe we can get you home. Hey, The sensor is picking up Eggman. Let's hurry.
Alright, well, we're back at Green Hill Zone. Multiple Green Hill Zone levels in this game. But this is...
Find Eggman quick.
This is classic Sonic.
The reading I picked up was through this way. This area is still
Oh,
relatively undamaged. Enemy is
the
here
spin dash
somewhere.
only works temporarily. I don't think I realized that before. It's just weird. They always rely on these tropes. You know what? I don't feel bad for complaining. Because I'm not complaining. Complaining is just, Actually, no. I am complaining, and there's nothing wrong with complaining, because there's just nothing good about this game. And I just think it's bizarre that Sega spent all this time making another one of these, and just not even putting in the effort to make it very good. And no offense to developers, making games are hard, but
I see desert over there.
that track record at this point has to be just cause for alarm. Because, like, all of these games, they always feel rushed. And it's not just the gameplay, it's also the story, it's also the amount of characters that are thrown in there. Everything feels like it was made in a hurry. And for whatever reason, Sonic fans have been sticking around, even though there's less of them now than there ever have been before, because, you know, they basically skipped an entire generation. Or the first half of a generation by being on the Wii U. And, I guess those long-term fans, they got Sonic Mania, so I guess they should be happy. But this will likely have a strong effect on the franchise going forward, because I honestly, you know, I don't expect this to sell well. And if it does, I hope Sega doesn't take away the wrong lessons. Like, well, we gotta give them more of this. Please don't. I think we'll do one more, because I think that's the hour. And then we'll wrap up. Oh, good. Okay, alright. So these SOS stages... Oops, I pressed the wrong button. SOS stages are the exact same stages as before, except you can play as a different character, or there's sometimes hidden things in there that you have to rescue. It's not worth getting into. It's the exact same stage you saw before. Except you're kind of slightly paying more attention.
And with that, the disposal of the Phantom Ruby prototypes is complete.
That right there?
It's a defective model. It could only record the DNA of the one that triggered it.
Only a being with my strength of will could ever activate it.
It doesn't matter now with the lab locked down in Mystic Jungle. Which reminds me, didn't you run into Sonic there after he escaped?
Yes, but he was powerless against me. There is no need for concern.
You let the hedgehog live? That is a great source of concern.
For you, perhaps. He has beaten you for decades.
For you, perhaps.
For
For you, perhaps.
Prototypes, and Sonic is alive.
I guarantee you, I played through this game, none of that pays off. None of the stuff they're talking about pays off.
the plan.
Of course. When it's complete, the resistance will be erased. The world will be nothing but ashes, from which a glorious Eggman Empire will rise.
And the resistance will yield to the Phantom Ruby's power.
Like, what the fuck is going on here? Apparently Eggman has this entire empire. He's this entire empire. Where's he gonna have this discussion? Just out in the open.
I don't have time for this.
Isn't that just weird? He apparently already took over the world, right? And even space. Where do you want to talk? Let's just go outside. It's a nice day. What? It's craziness.
Such power exceeds even my expectations.
Oh.
My own genius scares me sometimes.
That means you miscalculated. That's a failure in my book.
To surpass expectations is the ultimate of genius. I didn't expect you to understand.
You would assume that they would use the robots from the very first stage to pay any of that off, but nope. Just some other random robot. I'm just saying. It all feels rather, rather rushed, if you ask me.
You've got a lot of nerve for a pint-sized Sonic from another dimension. Still, this Egg-Dragoon has only lost 10% of its combat strength.
You're lying.
You won't have to wait long to find out.
You know, there was a little bit of inside humor in Sonic Generations that I think went a long way. Sonic Generations, I still don't think was a good game. I think that was just very, very desperate Sonic fans being like, ah, they finally got it, they finally did it, everybody. But they were able to kind of joke about where the Sonic franchise had been, and I think that really, that little bit of levity really added to the overall experience. It kind of made a lot of the sloppier elements a lot more excusable. And, this game right here just doesn't have that. It's not fun, it's not funny. It's actually pretty somber in a lot of ways, and... S ranking? Thanks. Never gets old. Alright, yep, so many outfits. Okay, let's get right past this. And I'm just gonna put down that... Oh, we'll watch this cutscene. I'm glad we're stopping right here.
Look at you fighting like you've got a
So he
chance to
crashed.
win. It's adorable. Almost makes me feel bad that we're never going to do this little dance again. In just 3 short days, my plan will eliminate the bothersome lot of you.
None of that pays off.
Please? And what plan?
If I told you, it wouldn't be a surprise. You know what they say, the anticipation of the end is worse than the end itself. Maybe not in this case, though.
I swear, none of that pays off. The whole 3 days thing, none of that pays off. I don't want to spoil any of it. You can just look it up. Okay, we're gonna call it quits right here on Sonic Forces for the first hour. Yeah, like what I really want to kind of get across here is that they tried to do way too much in this game, and none of it pays off. They try to be 2D Sonic. It's not good. You know, even Sonic Mania, I think, is far and away a better experience if that is what you were looking for. 3D Sonic, just never good. And the big thing that people need to realize when they step back and go, Sonic used to be good. Sonic used to be good, and then somewhere along the lines, they lost it. No, Sonic was never good. And I know people get offended by that, they get mad about that, but it's the goddamn truth. You were a kid, you were young, or it was just a product of the time. Maybe it had really good graphics for the time, but when you play the games, when you give it just that much time, and I think this is really telling, because as time goes on, people go, oh, yeah, you know what, this Sonic game wasn't as good as it was back in the day. Like, they give it up, because there's a new Sonic game to defend. Sonic is not salvageable. It's just not. There was no good Sonic. It was just your age for that time. You grew up, and you realized, this isn't nearly as good as I thought it was, and that's okay. It's okay to recognize that. But to continuously bang on and be like, oh no, there is something in here that's worth saving. I don't think so. Give Sonic the cartoon series, give Sonic the backpacks, give Sonic the fruit snacks, whatever. Doesn't need to be a video game character. Because none of this stuff ever pays off. And Sonic Team doesn't know what they're doing. It's not even about being a good Sonic or a bad Sonic. This is just crap. That's the real thing to take away. It's not about good Sonic or bad Sonic. It's just bad. It's bad writing. It's bad world building. It's confusing. It's overly dark in a lot of areas, mentioning torture and just characters dying for no reason. You know, that nothing builds off of these references. That's what you know what? That is the big issue with Sonic Forces. Just like the Sonic being tortured added up to nothing. Just like those characters being killed and that whole backstory of my avatar added up to nothing. Just like all the villains appearing adds up to nothing. Nothing pays off. It's just recognizable imagery or just gritty darkness. Give it up. You can't fix Sonic. Sonic Mania is the best that you're ever going to get, and I honestly think the franchise should just stop. That's your high note. Be like, we did it! We've been chasing this high for 24 years. Drop it. Drop it. Let Sonic go away. And it'll be better that way. It'll be better that way, because at least then people will be able to look back and go, oh yeah, those games were good for their time. For their time. They will never have to stop and really realize that Sonic was always a bad series. Whatever. I'm gonna get off on my high horse here. That's gonna do it for this episode of the first hour. Let me know what you thought. This was slightly different than the usual setup. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe did, maybe didn't. I know I talked a lot about Sonic not being good. I stick by that. I do. But maybe you have a different opinion. Please don't share it. Okay, fine. Share your opinion. When it comes to Sonic, Jesus. There's some people that get a little crazy about that. But anyway, that's going to do this for this. That's going to do it for this episode of the first hour. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.